just so it flows.
All right.
It is July
13th.
Yeah, 13.
2021.
I have
The
a
time
orange
is.
too, so I might feel that.
The time is.
You feeling? Oh, what
6.
that is? Oh, that's the cherries and shit.
Yeah. The time is 6 something Eastern Standard Time. And the topic is supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be. I always like to start with my feelings. I feel nervous. I feel excited. I feel. Thank you. I feel curious and inquisitive. And honestly, like I haven't had this much learning momentum since I was a baby. And I went to college and I got a master's degree. And I have learned more in the last 3 months than I've learned in any book that I've read in the last 33 years. Wow. I'm 34 actually.
And that wow. First, yeah, as always, I appreciate you sharing that. That hit something, because it's this is the most learning in 34 years with a master's degree. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. Yeah. And that's something genuine. That's just not how you go to a webinar or something, you're like, damn, I feel like and then they hit it with that. I feel like I've learned more in these 15 minutes than I have in my whole life. But the fact that just regular, not even regular, just the values that we have, which are being consistent, being disciplined, holding ourselves accountable. Hold on.
What?
It's still some in there.
I know. I want to feel my grapefruit.
Oh, true. I know you be.
Welcome to our friendship.
On God. I'm like, wait a minute. That ain't done.
You know what? And you know what's crazy? Not to cut your thought process
off. No, you good. You good.
I was in my mind I'm about to put this bottle down, and I bet she say something. I was like, I guarantee she gonna say something. And I was like, and I just want to peel my grapefruit. That's it. I'm gonna finish it. Isn't that crazy? And you said something.
It's alignment.
That's
Well, you know your friends. Well, you know your friends. For real.
Man, that's amazing.
When you know your friends.
But yeah, high key, the most I've learned, and really the lesson for me is that it's all about the massive action. I have read so many books, but application is the master, because that's where you get dirty. I ain't clean.
It's in the room. I thought about it too. I appreciate that though. It's where you get dirty and clean. And I posted that too earlier. I said transformation is in the fire, not before, not after. Ooh. Ooh. But I do want to start with my feelings too. Personally, I feel this is like another form of income that it could be, honestly. And to really like even how I said in the locker room, to really show people where our conversations are, where we are mentally, where we are daily, just sharing, you know what I'm saying? Just that's it, literally just sharing. It's not intended to tell anybody what to do, have anybody like it, dislike it. It's not about that. It's just we're sharing. And I want to get to how the girl in there felt, and basically just to give y'all context, we get done with our workout, we're talking about this right now, we're talking about having this conversation, and she just I'm sorry for eavesdropping, but I feel the same way. When I'm working out by myself and I get tired, it's easier to tell myself I'm done rather than working out with people. And I shared with her something that I learned. It's not, and a lot of this, I love to take credit for it, but the universe, people I'm around, I would love to take credit for all of this knowledge and all of this heart. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I learned this shit, just how she said, I learned this. And my trainer told us,
We got the same trainer.
When when you're giving all you have, you still have 40% more to go.
Yeah,
to
that's
give.
what she told her. Yeah.
Like, and I literally told her that, and she was like, yeah, like, she agreed with us, and I felt the universe letting us know, like a confirmation to us, that your energy shows, like, your energy is powerful.
And can I just sidebar and say, I'm eating a grapefruit, right? This is just a little sidebar. This morning, when we were going to take, excuse me, Ayanda to work, I was eating a banana. And apparently I was smacking.
You were.
She said, hey! And I thought a car was, and she said, stop smacking. So bring us now to this moment. We on camera and I'm eating this grapefruit and I hear myself enjoying my grapefruit. And I'm smacking. And y'all don't know how anxious I am. But anyway, back to the lady in the room.
That's funny.
She said, hey!
Because, like, it was, like, out of this world, man. I was like, what is going on right now? Like,
It's a banana.
Dude, that banana is not that good. Like, I'm not even going to detail. I'm not even going to do her like that.
I love. Tell you, I enjoy my food, y'all. But anyway, if I could talk about my experience of the same lady, the very same lady, the very same experience. So, getting back to learning, I've begun to ask myself very deep and real questions. The same lady, y'all, that Ayanda approached me with, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt. And she started speaking. And the first thing I felt was defensive. And I'm like, why do I feel defensive right now? And she felt it too. Like, I was really defensive. One, because when she made her comment about how she has to tell herself to keep going, I'll be very transparent. I barely heard her at first because I was thinking, you don't even have the context. You don't even know what we're talking about. But then I started asking myself the question, why are you so defensive right now? What are you trying to protect? And Lisa Nichols talks about this all the time. Have nothing to prove, nothing to protect, and nothing to hide. And so here's this person who's genuinely just attracted to the energy, no matter the context. And I feel my energy being like, don't want to receive it. What you talking, you know? And like, honestly, I heard myself say, follow the thread of the universe. Because the same way how you do anything is how you do everything. So like, if I'm closed off to receiving new energy in the form of a human being, then imagine what else I've closed myself off to because I'm not willing to follow the thread of the universe. So once I did that, heard that, I went along with the conversation in the discomfort of, oh God, I feel defensive still. You know what I mean? Like, still, like they say, feel the fear and do it anyway. I felt defensive and interacted anyway. So I'm like, you want to connect? You on social? How often do you come to the gym?
You
like,
did lead that.
Taking contrary action. So that's my experience.
That was powerful. And my experience was, she feels our energy because everywhere we go, like
everywhere, especially the gym.
Like everywhere we go. But even the grocery store, like, this is how I knew that, because like how she said, she asked deep questions, and she asked me one before the gym, and she was like, what value do you get from our friendship? And I had numerous of examples of just the value, and the main one is when people feed off of your friend's energy, just her energy. Like, you haven't heard her speak, you see the outfit, that's it. When people feed off of it, and basically this is what happened. We sitting at Kroger. We had a intellectual conversation and unbaggaging, like really just
and
talking
then plan
to each
it
other
for like 3 hours.
Like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, get out the gym, just doing what we're doing now. But now we're like, let's share it. Like, let's let the people in the universe see what we really talking about.
Yeah.
And we get out after our unbaggaging, and we kept saying, okay, this is the last thought we're gonna close with. This is the last thought we're gonna close with. And we kept saying that, but we really got to a ending point. And we get out the car, And this lady, she had on some dashiki print pants or a skirt, something like that. And I was attracted to her. I was like, oh, look at her. I swear, I'm checking her out. And she looking at her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's looking at her. She's like, I'm like, I like your pants. She's like, oh, thank you. But you, can I get your autograph? Because you look like a superstar.
And I did not know how to handle it. I was like taken aback.
I was like, wow. Like, and it wasn't even a point of like, damn, you swear me. I swear nothing came like that. It came like, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. Like, oh God, like, that's what really came to me when she said that. And I was like, hey, you better follow her on Instagram, bro. You better, bro. You're gonna miss the glow. You're gonna miss the transformation.
And high key, I should have gave her my autograph just as a signal to the universe, like, all right, I'm open. Again, going back to being open to the thread of the universe. Yeah, I was taken aback, but I should have been like, you got a pen? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the transformation is in the fire.
Oh.
And honestly, like, I mean, I would like to wholeheartedly say I think that you, Ayanda, have been a witness to the ugly. That thing Charles talks about, to my fire. You know, like, Ayanda has been around since October, September of 2020.
Yes,
we met during COVID. We met, you know, due to Herbalife.
Yeah.
And the point I'm making is, like, we're at a point, it took us, now it's what, July? Now we're sharing the conversations we have. We built a really strong foundation of our friendship. And she has witnessed me, like, she's witnessed me at the low and the high of my journey. And at the, hey, I got some potato chips in the back seat. You mind throwing them away for me? To, I fell asleep with hot wings in the bed, but I want to be better. And the best thing about a friendship with a good foundation, especially a person who can see you for who you are, despite some of the choices you make at times, is that it forges you forward in the fire. And so now, like, as you all can see or will see when we post, we just ate fruit. You know what I mean? I have a big bowl of fruit, and I'm gonna just go with the thread of what's coming up. I have a big bowl of fruit in my kitchen right now. Thanks to the hot wings, by the way, because I didn't like how it felt anymore to wake up to a box of bones in my bed. And I could take you on a trail with dead bones in your bed. But now, you know, right now in this moment, I'm grateful because I chose a grapefruit. And like, everything is a choice, and it's much easier, and this is me getting to the point, to make a powerful choice for me. I'm just talking about me. When I have relationships that forge me forward through the fire.
It's in the room.
It's in the room.
That was like powerful. Like, I just appreciate being open to this, first of all. Like, you know, like, a lot of people would be like, not even a lot of people, let's go with just letting it flow, you know, like you said, like, I'm gonna just start talking real, let it flow. And it's powerful even just flowing. Like, you know, like, it's powerful on camera. Even if it was no camera, it would have been impactful. And just the transparency, that's what I appreciate about that. Like, just being transparent, because I want to share mine. Like, how I got to the point where I must hold myself accountable. And when I broke down in the car that morning, like, I was literally like bawling tears, like, and I kept telling her that I really wish, because of how we've been trained, crying is only, what is the word, backed up when something is wrong, right? When something has happened to you, when you've been harmed. And literally, I ate that morning, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many things to not cry about, but it's not how I'm crying. It was why I'm crying. And when you get to a point in your life where you desire success, you have a passion to be the best you can be, and it is something that you need as bad as you want to breathe. Shout out to Eric.
Thomas,
you get disappointed, you hold yourself accountable. And I was so disappointed in myself. Like, I was just very disappointed in myself. And it all just began because I lacked on my values for 3 days. I believe 3 to 4 days in a row. In a row at that. It's not like I did it, then I did what I had to do. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, you're slipping, you know? Like, I really just held myself accountable so much. And it was also in the time when the lady called her a superstar, I was telling Britt too, I haven't cried in a long time. And that all built up. And that brings me to say that, like, first of all, people out there, feel your feelings. Like, this world, I'm gonna be real, this world is cruel at times when it comes to feelings. Like, and that's just because trauma. Like, people have a lot of trauma, and society frames things a certain way, but the spirit and the universe, everything, it knows, because I don't even know what gender that is. It knows the true answer. Feel your feelings. Like, be human. You know what I'm saying? Live in your feelings and feel the emotions of them. I'm going on a tangent now. But, yeah, like.
Yeah, and you know, everything. And first of all, I heard you, Ayanda, and I received what you're saying. I want to acknowledge that, and I appreciate your vulnerability. But I was gonna say, everything needs purpose, right? So, as someone who may be watching this, and honestly, if you're watching this, it's for you, because we already have decided with the intention that we're not putting this out here for likes or, you know, to, you know, scam you out of something.
Right.
We just really want to be impactful and share that not everybody is skeezy and scheming. But I do understand that everything needs purpose. So in order to frame your mind right now, to those who may be listening, as far as like, okay, so what am I supposed to be taking away from this first talk? What I suggest that you take away from this first talk, the biggest theme of all, the overarching theme, is surround yourself with people who light your candle. Surround yourself with people who are willing to say yes to your crazy, wonky, amazing, joyful, I don't know about that, all of it ideas. Surround yourself to people who expand you. It's all about surrounding yourself with people that really light you up. Because, like, even as we were talking about, you know, turning the camera on, I was just thinking, like, well, you know, what is the takeaway? And I think the biggest thing that I can say for me is, like, if I'm sharing my interactions with Ayanda, I just want people to see that it is possible.
Facts.
To have really positive connections, and how those positive connections, and I'll just close by this, can really make all the difference in the trajectory of who we become.
It's not formal. It's normal. I totally agree with you. And of course, I appreciate you saying that.
It's the palm and the ear for me with the not. It's not formal, it's normal. Please tell me why. Why do you appreciate it?
Like you said, it's possible. This world is full of negativity. And negativity. What did I see? I saw something that said, basically, I'm saying negativity needs company. Misery needs company. Negative things need company to thrive. Think about it.
And to add on that, sometimes negative things need company to survive.
There you go. Because if we don't pay it attention, it just goes away. And again, I learned this from my cousin. You literally, your time is valuable, first of all. So what you pay your attention to is you giving value to that. So your time is a commodity. Your insight is a commodity. You gotta hit your horn. Look at with the 10. She's so nice. I ain't gonna lie, I be doing that too. We just let some people get in front of us. Stop traffic and all, because that's what we do.
Just what would I want if it was me? You know what I'm saying? open up the question, just full transparency, I feel uncomfortable right now. Like, our conversations are very important to me, right? There's like Eric Thomas talks about standing on your sacred ground. And they're sacred to me. They're special to me. They mean a great deal to me. So, to me, if I'm sharing this value, like, it's important. And it makes me feel uncomfortable. But my other thought is like, if you're not doing what makes you feel uncomfortable, if you're not out of your comfort zone, are you growing? So I just want to just shout out the discomfort and like also the willingness to be uncomfortable, and how this friendship specific really does bring me to my like threshold all the time. Really, like, how uncomfortable are you willing to be?
And that's the part of the question, so I'll just ask it. And I appreciate you sharing that. Like, see, I'm talking about that transparency, like, just to not even really to respond because I'm trying to say what I want to say too, but honestly, I really, like she said, just want somebody to hear, because that's what I used to do. I still do. Like, I listen to hella people that I know who have what I want, because you got to start, you know, like, you got to start. We're not pros at talking, speaking, but
this is how you become a pro,
you know, and it's impactful to us every single day.
Don't be
so
she probably makes I like that person.
That's why it makes sense to share, just share, you know what I'm saying? Like, each one teach. She said that today, like, each one teach one, you know? And I just want to share and let y'all know that this is not a facade. Like, my captions, what she posts, please go check out her check out her social media. Like, just check it out. You ain't gotta follow, you ain't gotta like nothing, just look. Because what you pay it. The question is, how has the friendship taught you leadership?
Oh yeah, this the one right here. So, oh man, I'm gonna keep this as brief as I can, right? The friendship has taught me so much about leadership. I met Ayanda in August of 2020. We met through Herbalife, as I said. And we met on like the understanding, on the foundation of we both want to be physically active, we both live in the same neighborhood, and we just want to be better. And we find that it's easier to be better with teamwork, making the dream work. So when we first met, I was in a very perplexing position within myself, and I'm gonna before I go deeper into the story, I'm gonna say the friendship has taught me about leadership through action, to answer the question, right? So I was in a very perplexing position within myself, and I was in a space where I was the elephant on a stake, meaning like everything in my mind was just stuck in one place, but I had a desire for shifting. So I meet Ayanda, and I'm not even aware that I'm stuck, you know, in my mind in certain places. And what started to happen is we would meet up to work out, and she would be like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna let you take the lead today." So that opens up like, oh, I'm facilitating the exercise. You know, tomorrow it's on you. And I'm like, whoa. So then I got to be responsible to like, I choose to be responsible to show up with the exercise, right? And then on top of that, like, when I show up with the exercise, she's open and willing to participate. So then that's, excuse me, somebody validating my leadership. And then also the run, like we used to run outside.
Literally right here.
Literally where we are right now. And it was one day we were running.
Watch that.
It was one day we were running, and I started to slow down. And Ayanda was like, "Come on, Britt! Come on, Britt!" And then she literally, this is no cap, I'm not making this up, put her two hands in the center of my back and pushed me forward. Y'all, oh my God. I cannot tell you what that does for your soul when somebody is so invested in you and they don't even know you like that, but they feel your energy and they put their hands in your back and push you forward. That meant everything to me. I'm almost about to cry right now talking about it. So, woo, it's in the room for me. So that was the beginning of my awareness that how I was living was a choice, first of all, but also was the result of not being around the right people. You know, in the environments that I was in at the time, like, I present an idea, people shut me down. I speak up, people want me to shut up. People want me to just go with the flow of what they want. And I mean, Ayanda, it really just changed my life. So that was a very long answer, but I hope you got the key points and examples of how it taught me about being a leader. What about you?
I just want to address, I feel so like flattered, like that touched my heart, that it sent a powerful emotional experience for you. You know, it flatters me now, like, one, because we say it to each other every day, so it's always like, I appreciate that, but to also articulate it so well on camera, you know, like, this is not easy at all. So it means something to me, for real. Like, I appreciate that, and that was really, really received. For me, just to give you context about me, I've always been a leader. Like, my dad instilled that in me, and I never realized it until recently, like last year. That's when I really truly like realized it. Even when I used to play for basketball on my high school team, I knew I was the most skilled, but I didn't know I was the leader. Even though I'm the only senior on the team at the time. Like, I'm being real, it was another senior, but I'm the only senior that knows basketball and is playing. You know, I'm playing with juniors and freshmen. So it never ever occurred to me that I am a leader. Like, I affirm it now every day. But the friendship has taught me, because just as she said, when I present an idea, people shoot it down. It's not necessarily me presenting ideas that got shot down, but now the ideas of how to elevate yourself are being presented to me, and I'm taking those opportunities. I was around, and sometimes I was not even was around. It was people who have ideas of how to elevate themselves but not taking action, you know? And that's where I really got into the mind frame, especially now that I can put words on it, walking alone, you know? But I really suggest it as surround yourself around the people who have what you want. Because like-minded people can be like-minded, but are they taking action? Like-minded people could be the same personality, discipline, hold themselves accountable, but are they actually doing that? Like, are they really, really doing that and consistently doing that? So as a leader, I get up early as fuck and I wake up early. So if I do that consistently, and nobody else around me other than this person right here does that, so I have to lead that path. I have to. So that's what this friendship has taught me, like, just being consistent. Because she said it today, if Ayanda is taking 2 more steps than you, the workout was step ups, and she had 10, I had 12. Sorry about that. And she was like, if she's taking more steps than you, then that means she's 2 steps ahead of you. And we are always equal because we are a team. But it's always in my mind frame to lead myself to be the best I can be. So if I'm dog tired, keep going. If it hurts me, at least congratulate her, you know? Like, that's what leaders do. Leaders lead. That's where I'm at with it. And that's how this friendship taught me that. Do it. And be consistent.
It's funny because I didn't even think that resonated with you when I said that. I was like, she didn't feel me though.
I did.
And you actually did. You felt me. That's nice to know.
How has connecting through exercise given you permission to be a leader yourself?
So I said one example, which was
Yeah.
taking the lead on the exercise, and being given the microphone, so to speak, on like, this is what we're doing today. Because how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So like, by practicing, just being in the practice of having a vision and a goal and and seeing and executing it through, like, that's what the gym does for me. It's like, we show up, we have this conversation and this ideal about how we want to be successful. We map it out. This is what we're gonna do, and then we take action. And so compounding that with, plus this is my vision of how we're gonna get there, it makes it instantly, like, turns me into a better leader. And then also the learning component. A lot of people do not get up and get off the couch or get out of depression or get out of bad and toxic situations because of the fear of failure, right? And I can relate. Let me also say that. But being in action and like going to the gym and having physical fitness has really taught me a lot about my thresholds, my willingness to grow, my willingness to be consistent and show up. And honestly, like, the biggest lesson exercise has taught me about leadership is being a leader doesn't always mean that I feel like doing something. Because I really don't always feel like going to the gym. Like, I would put a percentage on it. It would be like 85% of the time, like, I don't want to necessarily be at the gym. I don't want to necessarily be in my meditation. I don't want to necessarily be, in something that feels like challenging, right? But it's in the hard stuff that the easy stuff is presented. And so, like, I've just learned for me, like, being a leader, like, wanting to doesn't always look like taking that action. And it's taught me a lot, like, about how to be proactive instead of reactive, how to, like, again, achieve goals, and how to show up. So I feel like I'm going on a tangent, but that's my answer.
Powerful.
So, okay, I invite people to learn. Show up to learning. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It makes me feel so alive. Like, I say alive because I feel everything. I feel grateful, joyful, happy, sad, mad. You know what I'm saying? I feel it all. Like, that frustration of, like, okay, when am I gonna get on the floor and do a burpee without needing the step stool? You know what I'm saying? But like a baby, when they learning how to walk, don't nobody be like, damn, when you gonna know how to walk?
Thanks.
They just let the baby practice. So,
and not to cut you off,
yeah.
I just want to attack that. Like,
yeah.
My school had basically affirmations.
Yeah.
And one of them was lifelong learning. And it's funny how we disliked saying that shit. Because it was 7 of them. I don't remember. But one of them was lifelong learner. And my dad always resonated with that one. And lately, we've been on great terms. So he's been, I'm gonna be real, he's been the one boosting all of the posts, like the pictures. I believe one was passing up opportunities. Repeatedly. Poor, and when just to piggyback on how exercise gives the permission to be a leader, it's taught me a lot about time management. And growing up, I got that lesson from our 9th grade AP World History teacher, Mr. Amawali, right? Yeah, Mr. Amawali. And he gave a lesson. He literally stopped what Common Core told us to learn and did a lesson on time management, because AP courses was coming up and how to study for those and how to manage the schoolwork that he was given. And of course that flew in one ear and out the other at that age. But lately I have been on a roll with my time. You too. Like, we honor each other's time. It's valuable. And the fact that you can manage that and actually take control of your time. So sometimes you actually might have to be not nice to people, which is putting yourself first, because that's self-love and time management. And just to add on to why I was so disappointed, I wasn't managing my time correctly when I desire success. So how can I get to success if I'm not doing the principles that it takes to get there? So it disappointed me. And the last one is just planning. Failing to plan is planning to fail. 100.
And I want to piggyback off that too by saying that it's not about eating the whole elephant. You know, I really think it brings me to that quote, like, it's difficult to lift 1,000 pounds once, but it's very manageable to lift 1 pound 1,000 times, right? So like Ayanda is saying time management, and it's like, you know, for me, when I first approached this opportunity to get well and be better, the ego, which always wants to keep us safe, was like, well, how you gonna do that? Like, you know, like, what about you? Just so much. It's so overwhelming. And like, what's really been helping me is setting a timer for 20 minutes to attack one thing at a time. And just to be very specific, give examples. I meditate 20 minutes a day. I read Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk, 20 minutes a day. I just moved, and I was thinking about how am I going to organize my space 20 minutes at a time. I'm a writer, I'm creative. Set a timer for 20 minutes to write. And what I find in this practice is that over time, that adds up, it accumulates. It goes back to like what Charles was saying, like a centimeter at a time brings you to a millimeter to a yard. Full disclosure, I ain't gonna say I'm good with math and stuff, but y'all know the point. A yard to a mile, like,
Yeah.
You know,
All the way.
so I really felt what you were saying there, like time management, but if it overwhelms you, break it down.
Break it down all the way. I'm not perfect.
I know I ain't.
I'm not perfect. Like and also what really enhances that is who you listen to. Like,
Yeah.
if you listen to people, because my mom, she does that a lot. My auntie does it a lot. You need to slow down, you know? Take some time for yourself. Take some time to just relax, or you have to do that right now. If you listen to that, you start to settle, and you start to realize that, okay, maybe I am going too hard. But Tony Robbins just said it, like,
Standard.
it's your standard. Like,
Yeah.
what's your standard? My standard, just to give you some context too, I must engage on my Instagram every single day. I must read my book. I'm reading Asking It Shall Be Given. Thank you to Elijah. I must meditate. I must journal twice a day. And at the end of my day, about my goals and where I see myself, so that I live that. Not saying I will, because when you will, you think you can and you can't. But if you are, you are. You lived up to it. So you are it now. And it's a lot of passion, because like, who you listen to? I listen to Eric Thomas a lot. David Goggins. Extreme radical people.
Shout out to DG.
For real. Because they had to grind. And if you listen to that while you tired, if you listen to that while you just feel like, fuck all of this, excuse my language, but I don't want to do none of this, then you will start doing it. Even when you don't want to. Like she said, I'm going to be real. I give you 65% of the time, do I want to go to the gym? 65%. But I have that deep desire to look a certain way. I have that deep desire to meet the goals that I set for myself, because I used to live my life for other people. I did. And I told her, I confided in her that I like saving people. But it's good that I realized that, so now I save myself.
Hey, and not to cut you
You're
off,
good, because that was
but honestly, her superpower is saving people, right? I'm going to give y'all the game right in this. Ayanda has saved my life. I'll say it right here on the camera. Ayanda has saved my life. But you know how she did it? By being a leader. Because when she held her standard to who she was going to be, I had to save myself and be like, well, if I want to be in the company, of a person holding a certain standard, then I gotta meet that standard. And it's crazy because you meeting it for yourself, really. But at the same time, you meeting it because you know who you want to play with, who you want to be in the sandbox with, who you want to, be connected to. And for me, it's such a high level of awareness because it's like, my intention is to always, or I hate to say always, and I strongly dislike to say always or never. My intention is to be very mindful of how I either propel people forward or hold them back due to my own behaviors. So like, I know wholeheartedly that I am for Ayanda. I want her to win. And I know that in order for her to win, right? I ain't never really said this to you, but in order for her to win, I don't think she should be around people that she gotta drag or like rescue or please come along. Oh, it's in the room.
I felt that.
It's in the room. Like,
I was like, I felt that.
You don't, if you love somebody, right? And again, this friendship has taught me love is action, right? If you really care about somebody, you do not want to drag them. And I was like, oh, it's either let go or go along with. And the only way you're gonna go along with is if you save yourself. So come on, let's go. And like, that has saved me. But she didn't say like, come on, Britt. Like, she's a leader. And like, through her leadership, I was like, you know what? I gotta start eating fruit. Through her leadership, I need to drink more water. Through her leadership, she took 12 steps. I need to take 12 steps. But it was nothing she said. Man, it's in the room for me. And honestly, God blesses effort. God, universe, divine, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
because honestly, I started eating fruit, y'all. This is my testimony. I've been eating fruit now for 3 days, right? One day, Ayanda come out of work. She's like, hey, I got a gift for you. It's a big, abundant bag of fruit. And my fruit bowl has been filled to the brim. Every day, overflow. Grapefruit, plums, bananas, peaches, cherries, strawberry. Like, come on, y'all. Like, this the metaphor. This is a metaphor for life. Like, and it's all because my friend is a leader. My friend has shown me through her action. Okay, this is my standard. She ain't even telling me the standard. She's never given me an ultimatum. She's never told me, if you don't do this, I ain't gonna do this. Never. But I see who she is and I'm like, okay, I want to be great. I am great. So I'm going to treat myself in the standard that I want to be around. Like, it matters to me.
I appreciate that. Like, I felt it as soon as you said. I was like, oh, I feel it. Like, I don't guard, but I just hold it in my heart. I'm like, I feel it. And I just really appreciate it. Like, it's beautiful when people notice, because it's intentional, but it's not cocky. It's not cocky. It's just work. It's beautiful when people notice. Simple. And I appreciate that. Like, I do, because it gets overlooked because people are so engulfed in their own problems and their own, like you said earlier, it's a rushed world. Like, we don't slow down. We don't just sit back and just have a conversation. We don't do that. Like, we just go. And go for what? Like, a lot of us, hey, I'm not throwing shit. I'm just being real right now. Like, people they're not even working towards anything sufficient. Not even working to anything that means something. And again, it's not shade or disrespect, because we all have what we want. Like, being honest with you, some people might look at this where we're right now, my apartment complex, as success because they didn't live in a house or they didn't live in their own apartment. And that's okay, because that's your standard. But if you know your standard is higher than where you are and your rituals are not adding up, don't blame other outside circumstances for why it ain't working. For real. Because that's what I used to do. I used to be like, that's happening to me. My dad betrayed me. My mom not here. I don't have money. Fuck all of that. That shit don't mean nothing. This right here is what's gonna get me where I want to go.
Yeah. It's an inside job.
It's an inside job. Shout out to Brolly Gaines, man. It's not even working out. We working in. Cause the mind, the body's gonna do what the mind says. Period. The body will do what the mind is saying. Period. Periachi. You ain't heard that one before.
On Periachi. Man.
I just appreciate this platform.
We're almost at, we're about 45 minutes in, right? And honoring time is, we're talking about this, right? So for me, I'm gonna create a boundary and say, we stopping soon.
Yeah.
And like, that's just it. We stopping soon, right? But I do want to offer some actionable steps as far as how the friendship and what we've done has helped, right? Like, what are we doing? Because you hear what we're saying, but what are we doing? So 2 things that have been very powerful for me in the friendship are, we made a list of 20 things we want to do. We really want to do them. And then after we made the list of 20, we got together and we each picked 5 things that, okay, I really want to do this. Then once we had the list of 10, as a team, we decided the 5 things that we will do. We put them on the calendar. We got them in writing. We talked about how we're gonna make it work, and now it's just the execution. So that's one thing right there. Bong, how we're growing and elevating. The second thing that I will offer, going back to making time, one bit of a time. Starting this Saturday, we are educating ourselves on financial literacy, being a business owner, a CEO, you know, like just growth mindset, really.
Thanks.
1 hour a week we make for education starting this Saturday. So those are 2 gems that I'm giving. Like, you don't work out, you work in. I felt that. And if you really want to work in and you like, well, how? Like, well, I hear y'all talking, but shit, you know, like, that's 2 things we got going. That's my 2 offerings. Do you have anything you want to offer?
One thing. Start listening to the people who have what you want.
Yeah.
If you and y'all do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all do it. If you want to learn how to do hair, where they go? YouTube. Watch all those other things, but what else do you want? Like, what if it's something a little bit more deeper? Like, I want a Maserati. I want a Lamborghini. Listen to people who have that.
And shout out to Justin Phillips. Justin Phillips, the co-owner of Black Colleges, Support Black Colleges brand. I went to a webinar of his last night, and he said, it's okay to be a copycat, but make sure you copy the right cat. So, there you go.
That's it. That's it right there.
So I guess we'll end with all hearts and minds clear.
All of them, for real.
Deep gratitude, love, and abundance amongst the rising sun of the stars in the universe.
Appreciate y'all time. I appreciate whoever is wholeheartedly taking this in, taking time to just listen to us. And I appreciate the platform. I'm grateful for the platform. I'm grateful for you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the universe allowing this to happen. I'm grateful for where we are sitting right now.
Yeah.
Everything is just everything. And never let your blessings turn into a burden.
And that's it.